Welcome back to the Electrician's Tool channel. Today I just want to talk about a few specialty tools that I have in my bag that I just took from my bag just to talk about. And to tell you why I have them in my bag and what I use them for. Some of you may have a lot of these tools in your bag. You may or may not have a lot of these tools in your bag, but if not, you may feel that you may need some of these tools in your bag. So I'm gonna get right to it. I'm gonna start off with this set of Allen wrenches, folded Allen wrenches. Okay, now the reason why I use these here in the U.S., the two main lugs at the top, when I'm putting in a panel, I use this one to tighten it up. Now this is kind of, this one is okay. It's compact and you can put it inside your tool bag. I prefer using a torque wrench with an Allen extension on it. A torque wrench. That's what I prefer using. But I've used these for a long time, and but I prefer using a ratchet, a torque wrench to tighten my lugs up in the electrical panel. So that's why I use these. Use this right here. This is a cheaper one. Klein makes them. I bought this one from Harbor Freight. Just throw in my bag because I don't, just to have it in my bag. But like I said, I prefer using the ratchet torque wrench. Okay. Now, this is a folding ruler, and this is a fiberglass folding ruler. And why did I get a fiberglass? I don't know. I just saw it, and it was cheap. It didn't come from a cheap company. I think I paid like $20 for this thing here, but it has all kinds of metric on one side, and measurements on it and all, and had a few features, and I think it was worth the price. But mainly why I bought a folding ruler, because when I be bending my conduit, when I'm making offsets or what have you, I use this to put on the side. If I'm bringing a building like making a 4-inch offset, I put it up on the side of the pipe just to see where I offset it at, things like that. So this come in handy for that purpose. And I bought this because when I'm doing residential, it may be an old house. It may have nails sticking out of the wall, and I'm running my cable right along that way. I pull out old staples that's in the wall, so it won't pierce my new wire that I'm pulling through the wall. I pull it out, and it's better to grab. Some people use the diagonal pliers, and that's good too. But these, sometimes with this little curved head, I get in there and I could get good, and the way it's beveled right here, for those stubborn staples, you could just grab it and use the little leverage you have right here to pull it out, and this works fine for me. Now, this is a no-name brand. I bought this from Walmart, and I think I paid something like $5, $6 for it, I think. But anyway, it serves. I could have bought the Kleins, but no. Klein is a good tool, but this does the same as a Klein, and or ideal, but even Connectpex or Weha, they make these things too, but you're paying like $40, $50 for this tool to do the same thing. It's not like it's a meter or something, whereas that you want to buy the best because your life is on the line. But this thing, no, no, just a tool, a hand tool. So that's for. Now, this is an insulated knife that peels insulation off of like 2-aught cable and 500 cable. This is, it's not as sharp, but it's designed to, once you hook it up in the front of the cable and you pull back, it's supposed to split the insulation around the cable. Now, I've never used it. I find it difficult to use, so I've never used it, but I have it in there just in case, but I've never used it. I never used it. This right here, I use this to pull my wire. If I'm running like, just say I'm running 6 14-gauge wires or something like that, or 6 number 12s. Well, I put them all in here. You can put them all in there, open that up, put them all in there, and just put like pressure on it, and I hook this on my fish tape or what have you, and pull it through the conduit. Now, you know, I don't use this a lot because the majority of the time I'm just putting some electrical tape around my wires and put them in different, you know, like right behind one another, and I'll make a strip part of the wire, make a eye in it, and tape it up and put it on my fish tape, and I'm ready to go and just clip it off. You know, this is good to have, but once you get that sucker in there, you know, sometimes it's kind of difficult to get it out because you got to put pressure on this thing here just to open it up, and you know, get the wire. You can always cut it off. You know, I mean, that's what you got to do, cut it off and pull the wires out of here. So you know, I don't use this as much either. You know, like I just said, I'm just pulling out the stuff that I have with specialty tools that I had around my bag, and you know, but if you're going a long distance and you're pulling through around other cables, you know, a crowded conduit, you know, with other cables, this will come in good too. I mean, this come in handy too. Also, the old-fashioned way with the tape, you know, and making your own eye in the top for your fish tape to pull it through. Either or. All right. This is for a light fixture. For example, if you had a light bulb that screws in, incandescent light bulb that screws in, and the light bulb itself was to break. Now, the only thing you have is the Edison base around it left inside the socket. Well, you know, that's an old-fashioned way you can do it. Get your wire, your needle nose, stick it in there, you know, make sure the power's off. Stick it in there, open your needle nose up and turn it. But no, this is made for that. You stick it in there, you open it up like this. These things right here, these are grippers, and you twist it. You just twist it out. You know, I bought this, man, I saw this online years ago, and it wasn't inside of I didn't get it from an electrical shop. It was a store, something like Finger Hut. I don't know if y'all remember the store Finger Hut. I just saw it, and I said, my goodness, I can use this. And I bought it. And this thing is over 10 years old. And you see how it's all, you know, it's still in good shape. I still use it, you know, from time to time. But that's what this is for. Okay, now this, I just bought this recently. This is DeWalt. This is a sheetrock knife. And the reason why I bought this one, I know Milwaukee have them too, but the reason what set this apart from the one that Milwaukee have, both of them I believe folds up. Milwaukee folds in too. And Lennox has one that folds up too. But this is why I bought this one. I'm going to show you right now. This one, not only does it have a sheetrock, a cutter, it have like a shaver right here. If you cut it, if you're cutting it and it came out all jagged or you have to shave a little bit off to make the box fit just right, well, instead of going to get you got one here. Just shave it off, just a little bit you need for your box, you know, your rework, you know, your old work box or whatever you're gonna put your metal box or whatever you're gonna put in the wall, then to slide it in. That's why I bought this, and also it folds in too, so I don't have to worry about no knife, you know, carrying a knife around, a sheetrock knife sticking out like that all day. So that's why I bought this one, for that reason. Now, this one, this is like an awl. It makes hole. I got this from a company, online company called Banggood, Banggood, and banggood.com. And this has a sharp point on it, and I've used it several times for plastic boxes. If you're doing something with a plastic box and you need to make a little a precision type hole and you have to ream it out, well, this comes in handy. Now, I know they have step bits for that kind of stuff there too, but you know, if you have to do it by hand because you're in fear of drilling it and thinking that the drill might touch something on the side, well, no, you can get this. It's real sharp on it. It's real sharp on the edges, and it's very pointy. You put it in that tiny hole and just turn however much you need to make the hole however big, the diameter however big you need it to be. This comes in very handy also. So now this getting back to, let me see. When I was mentioning about this to cut insulation. And the reason why I wasn't using this, because I say this is kind of difficult to use. You have to hold it and try to put it, you know. But anyway, this is coming from Ideal. This is very good. This right here, you put your wire in here. You put your wire, I don't have any right here around me. But anyway, you put your wire in there, and you raise it up like this. Put your wire in there. You put the pressure back on there. You flip this that way because it has a blade that's in there. I'm gonna turn it in, hoping you guys can see it. I hope you see the point right. That's a blade that's in there. And when you turn this turns the blade like long ways. And when you turn it this way, and the wire is in there, you just pull your wire, and it splits it right down the middle. But after you split it, you want to put it. After you split it, first you put it on. This is the steps you put it in. I'm confusing myself. You put it on, and you don't turn this at first, but you spin this around. That's just to cut the insulation around, okay? And then you leave it where it is. Then you turn it this way. Then you pull it, and it falls right off. It splits it right off. It's already cut, and it splits it right down the middle, and it peels off. Perfect, precisioned. So that's Ideal makes this. I think I've seen Knipex with one, Weha have one, but yeah, this is from Ideal, and it works fantastic, y'all, fantastic. Now this is my square tip screwdriver right here. I think this is a number 1, I believe. Number 1, yeah. I use this for my circuit breakers inside my panels. Now all circuit breakers don't take the square tip. Some of them flat, some of them are Phillips, some of them are common. You know, the screw to tighten it up. So, but the ones that I do have, this comes in very handy. I have it I have an insulated version of this, as well as this one. This is a square D right here, and it just so happened, if you can see this, it fits right in there. So, you know, you can use a flat screwdriver or try to get a Phillips, but this fits perfectly in that square right there. So that's why I like using this square tip screwdriver. And it's from Klein. It's from Klein. This is a Klein also. This is a Terminator screwdriver right here. That if I'm working in inside of an industrial panel, a control board, or what have you, that has a real tiny screw, fine screw, I use this. I use this a lot, and it comes in really handy. I love when I'm doing that. I like the real big handle on it, and instead of those little tiny handles like something like this, and you trying to put torque on it to tighten it back up. No, I like this because it's bigger, and I can you know, maneuver this, and I can work this thing right here. So this is a Terminator screwdriver, precision screwdriver, Terminator by Klein. And that's the model number right there if you were thinking about getting one. TBDIN. Okay, this is a fuse puller. I like this. I like this fuse puller. Ideal have one. It's a little bit different than this, a little bit bigger, but I like this because of the handles. I like this one. This fuse puller right here, and this is by Bussmann. Bussmann make this fuse puller right here, and you can't go wrong with it. You know, I know a lot of times you don't run into fuses unless you're dealing with disconnects, maybe for AC unit or something like that, but or inside of a control panel, industrial environment. But hardly ever, you know, when you do a residential or whatever, you find it in commercial that you meant to pull a fuse or two, but you're always supposed to have a fuse puller. This is a Reamer right here when you're doing conduit, EMT. This won't work on rigid. Rigid is too hard. At least I never used it on rigid before. I always use it on EMT. But very seldom do I use this because I'll be so much in a hurry. I'll grab me a pair of my lineman's, or I'll grab my needle nose and I'll ream it out. And lately I haven't had to do that because this Greenlee EMT cutter right here, when I use this a lot. And when I use this and I'm cutting my EMT, this is just for EMT. I'm cutting my EMT. I don't have a ream. The way it cuts it, this thing it tells you when you first buy it is designed to cut your EMT, and you don't have to ream it because it don't leave any jagged edges on it for some reason. You still check. And, nothing's perfect, and there's always that time when you don't check, and it may have it, and you damage your wires and all. But anyway, this thing right here is when you cut it, it doesn't leave any burrs on your EMT at all. So I hardly ever have to use this thing here or my needle nose to ream it out. But when I don't use this and I'm using a hacksaw or a sawzall, that's when if I grab this first, I'll do it. If I grab my needle nose, I'll do it. Whatever's in reach first, I'll use that to ream it out. Now this is for recessed can lights here in the U.S. When you installing it, they have a spring. Now I never used it for that, but this was on a package when I first bought this. I always thought that I could use it for something else. I love buying specialty tools because you never know. It's best to have them and don't use them for a while, and then when you need them, you got them. Then to need them and don't have them at all. So I bought this, and it came with this little nut driver, and this was specifically made for installing recessed lighting. So that's what this is. This hook screwdriver here for, and this nut driver for the screw that's inside the can, and this to pull a spring down that's inside of the can. Also, now this is a laser distant meter, and it's by a company called Snowway. They have a lot of companies that have these out now. Milwaukee, Bosch, and Lennox have them, I think. I'm not sure if Klein have them, but this is a generic brand right here that I bought because and it's real. I don't have the batteries in it right now because I don't leave my batteries in none of my devices when I'm not using it that much. Anyway, this thing is very accurate. I've used it, I've tested it, and it got me through. And I've completed the job, and it was accurate. I bought this off of eBay. I paid something like, I think, $15 for it, I believe. But anyway, it works really well. And if you don't have one of these, man, I suggest you do have one. Because sometimes when you're working by yourself and you may have to go a distance, that fish tape, you may only have a 36 feet fish tape. No, this works just fine. You put it against the wall, shoot it, but read your directions so you'll know how to read this thing. And it's not complicated at all. But, any tool that could take the place of another person that you wish you had helping you, but he's not there. That's why I always buy certain tools like that. That if I'm working by myself, it'll take the place of another person that I don't have there. So, and this is one of those tools right here. So, and anyway, now this is a brush right here. When I'm going inside a lot of panels, and I'm working inside a lot of panels, I don't care what I'm going to do. I just hate working inside of a dirty panel. You get inside, you may have dirt from insects and what have you. I like to brush it all off. And sometimes the connection, turn the power off, you look back there, some kind of hornet, they might have a hornet nest back, not a hornet nest, a mud diver nest back there. We'll turn the back off, you brush all that stuff off so they have a good contact. Even at the bottom of the panel, you want to clean it out. I just hate looking at any kind of panel that's dirty. I like to have my work neat, perfect. So that's why I keep me one of these on me at all times. This thing right here depends on working on a machine or not. Inside, any kind of electrical thing that I have to get behind it or I have to see behind it, and I can't see it, so I use this. This has a light on it. Let me turn it on. This has a light, and you guys can see that. This has a light on it, and it helps me out. Comes out, extend it, and if you're looking for, you need to look behind something, that helps you out. So I suggest, man, you get some of these things. Get one of these right here. You get one of these here. You can never have enough tools, because just when you think you have enough and you go on a job, you realize that you don't have enough. You don't have enough. So if you're a professional, you try to get every tool that you need to help you do your job like a professional. So let me see what else did I have here to tell you guys. I think that's about it. I just want to tell you guys about this, talk about this, the few little tools, specialty tools that I have in my bag. I have another bag in my with some more good stuff, and I'll be making a video with those in the future. But before I continue, I'm gonna ask you guys right now to hit that subscribe button right now, and then hit that bell notification so that you'll receive notifications from me when I make my new videos. And with that being said, well, why don't you guys check out my channel, the Electrician 2 channel, and you guys could just go back and look at my previous videos, and I'm sure you'll find something that I reviewed, one of my many reviews on the tools or test instruments that I've done that you'll find interesting. And also hit that like button, share it. Drop me a line, man. I love talking tools with with the guys out there in the field on the type of trade that I'm doing right now as an electrician. Although it's inspiring to be an electrician, man, drop a line, man. I don't mind, replying back to you. So with that being said, fellas, I want to thank y'all for stopping by, watching this video. I thank y'all for watching my past video. Thank y'all for who all subscribed to my channel. And with that being said, men, you guys stay safe out there. Peace.